Welcome back, strangers. Hope you guys are having a good night. Tonight, we're excited to be joined by Joey Adventures. You need to check her out. She's a fellow paranormal enthusiast and explorer of all things strange. So go check out her channel. It's going to be in the link, like the descriptions below or somewhere. I don't know where Ethan put them, but they're there somewhere.
It's actually there this time, so it's there.
It's good. Yeah. But yeah, tonight we're going to be discussing hauntings and legends from North Carolina. So we're going to be in the States tonight. It's a good time. But it's an area we all know a lot about, so it'll be a good time. We have some expertise. But for those who don't know, my name's Blake. I am the narrator / one of the editors for The Strangest. Nice to meet you guys if you haven't already known us.
Yeah. I'm Ethan. I write for The Strangest. And if you're somehow new, we're a paranormal and unsolved mysteries channel. We like to travel to haunted places and film there, share it with you guys. We live like right there at North Carolina, and we only have like one video based in North Carolina. There should be more, but we just recently did the Holder Folk video in Iceland. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. It was really cool. Me and Rebecca filmed that on our honeymoon. So some rough footage from a year and a half ago, but it's still pretty cool. So it was a great way to start the new year. Yeah. And thanks for joining us tonight. How do you introduce yourself like to strangers on the internet?
First of all, thank you for having me here. I'm very honored. And basically, I'm just a skeptic, a natural skeptic. I'm a paranormal investigator who enjoys discovering things of the unknown. You know, I also say I'm a philosopher. I love historic things and I love discovering things we never know. So that's basically what I do.
No, that's good. It's good to have another skeptic on because we try to. I mean, I call myself a hopeful skeptic, but I like to look at things from like a kind of analytical view. I don't like to just jump on things, and be like, it's a ghost, it's haunted. So it's cool to have that kind of perspective. But we're glad to have you on. Thanks for coming on, and it'll be a good night.
Yeah, thank you.
Like I was scrolling down, like every week Ethan sends us like an outline of what we're going to talk about. And I opened it up in Messenger, and it went to that erotic thing we did last week. And I was like, this doesn't sound like it should be on tonight's stream.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so if you guys, not trying to plug our Patreon, but if you guys want some of that, that's on Patreon.
Yeah, it's The Strangest Fetishes and Kinks. Check it out for $1.
$1, you can hear some really weird stuff. It was a good time. But I'm going to go ahead and catch up on the chat. It's good to see everybody. Chew McCurry, how's it going? Drawn Seeker, Tracy Christian. Kenneth, good to see you as always. Teresa, damn, you guys, there's a lot of people now. After Dark Paranormal, good to see you. Teresa Jones was saying, nice cat, I think, to After Dark Paranormal. Oh, hey, Mr. Ramsey, how's it going? He said, no idea how tired and drunk I've gotten waiting up for this. Well, we appreciate it. I can't remember his time zone, but I know it's probably like super late for him or super early.
Maybe like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. It's pretty late.
Yeah, too late for me. Getting old. Hey, Ghostwatch, how's it going? Jim Stafford. Justin said, I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. Very interesting. Very interested in North Carolina haunted places. Well, we were just discussing before the stream. We're very close to Raleigh, so we know your feels, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Joseph, how's it going? Masudo-chan, good to see you again. Rebecca said, oh my God, she has her camera on. Good sign. Rebecca's a stickler for people coming on and using their webcams.
Yeah, we use our cams because of Rebecca. She gives us a hard time about it.
Oh, hey, Beverly, how's it going? Sorry, continue. I'm just still reading people.
It's all good. I figured, I was like, well, I'm always using my camera, so I might as well, so...
So was it weird, like, starting your first videos, being on camera? Were you shy or embarrassed, or you just jump right into it right away?
I was a bit shy at first. I'm still a bit shy about it. But doing it by myself, I felt a bit insecure doing it. But with other people involved, I'm like, yeah, I'm all crazy. But naturally, I'm pretty shy about it, yeah.
Yeah, we still have our first video that we filmed with us, like a 200 sub video that we never released because we were so awkward on it. So it was a while before we did it. Yeah, maybe at 200,000 subs we'll release it. Yeah, that ever happens.
Yeah.
So
you got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
exactly. Hey, Jenny. She said hi, Joey. Rebecca said, ask her if she has a boyfriend. Father Michael's single. So if you are you into priests or pseudo priests?
People who play Priest.
I have a girlfriend.
Oh, that wouldn't stop him. Let's see. After Dark said, whenever you can't debunk, then you have to start thinking. Then you can start thinking it's paranormal. Sorry, guys. I've pre-gamed a little bit too much today. Hey, Kristen. That's my sister. I don't think she's ever been in a stream before. Amy only. How's it going? There's a lot to catch up on. Oh, never mind. It's my nieces. Good to see you guys. I think
Look
we're
at Blake
good.
has a fan club.
I know. It's like now I actually have to watch my profanity. This
Yeah.
isn't beer. This is just apple juice.
There you go. But North Carolina is an amazing state. It's got beaches, mountains, and everything in between. There's so many great places to visit and lots of history and local legends. Have you been in North Carolina your whole life, or did you move there?
I was raised in North Carolina. I've moved to several different places like Los Angeles. I lived in Brazil for a while, but I've mostly been in North Carolina.
Yeah. So what made you come back to North Carolina after all that? Because that's a lot. That's a big culture shock.
Oh yeah. Well, family stuff, my family needed me here temporarily, and so I was like, oh, okay. But I plan on moving back to Los Angeles soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good jump for YouTube. I mean, that's like the best place to be.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun to visit Los Angeles. I just can't imagine living there. Like the amount of people. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of people.
Traffic is horrendous.
I'm sure.
It is horrible.
See, like, I mean, Raleigh, for example, that's like as much as I care for as far as traffic. Like, I know it's not as bad as a lot of places, but that's it for me.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing we get around here. So that's I don't know.
Yeah, Ghostwatch said North Carolina is beautiful, mountains to the west, beaches to the east. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love it here. We have everything.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, like Ethan said earlier, like we probably both spend more time in not Greensboro, but North Carolina than we do Virginia, just because there is so much more to do. And I mean, like you said, there's beaches.
So much closer. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know Virginia's got beaches too, but they're not the same.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been to the Biltmore in North Carolina, Asheville?
No, I have not. I want to. It's on my to-do list. I really want to.
You're talking about the mansion?
Yeah, the giant mansion, dude. It's the biggest house in America.
I think everyone else I know has been there, but I've never been there.
Yeah, I actually haven't been there either. But my uncle...
You're giving me a hard time.
I know.
I thought you were like, oh man, I've been there. I've stayed there. I had breakfast there one time.
Yeah,
It had margarita. It was a great time.
Bloody Marys with the rich folk. But no, Father Michael's
super pricey.
Yeah, I've never been.
It
looks fancy.
It's super pricey there for sure.
No,
my uncle helped film Richie Rich. That movie was filmed there, and he does movies and things, and they filmed that at night. Got all the like extra scenes, like the interior shots. So that was pretty cool.
I seem to remember that, hearing that story somewhere, but
Macaulay Culkin, he's making a comeback. There might be a Richie
He's
Rich
everywhere.
movie.
He's in like every video, like big YouTuber video I've seen.
Yeah,
so
we'll reach out to him for the live stream.
Yeah, I saw him on Joe Rogan's live stream, so maybe he'd be like, "Yeah, that's fine. They're of similar subscriber base, 4,000 to like what, 1 million."
He doesn't pay attention to the comments.
But yeah, he seems like a really down to earth guy.
Yeah.
But you would think he'd be kind of stuck up, but he seems real chill.
Yeah. Do you want to read the first story about the Vanderbilt's haunting?
No.
You don't? I'll read it.
No,
I struggle. No, you read it first.
I'm going to read it.
Okay.
Okay. So it was built by George Washington Vanderbilt II between 1889 and 1895 and is the largest privately owned house in the United States at 178,926 square feet of floor space, 135,280 square feet. Today, it's still owned by George Vanderbilt's descendants. It sits on a 10 square mile property. Located in Asheville, North Carolina, it was originally built as a vacation home. George first visited Asheville with his mother in 1886 and fell in love with the mountains and small town. He was only 26 when he decided to build a home there that would cost him a significant part of his inheritance on the project. He spared no expense on the project and even built a private railway line to bring his family and guests to the immaculate estate. George was an avid collector and filled the home with art, books, and rare artifacts, making the home his own private museum of luxury where he would entertain his guests and would include the most important and powerful men in the world. He would throw lavish parties, all in his vacation home. He was like the Great Gatsby. He had been, if he had been a real-life billionaire. Sadly, George passed away in 1914, but many think his spirit still lingers in his beloved home. After his death, his wife spent much of her time in the library, her husband's favorite spot in the house, talking to George. It's been said that after she died, you can still hear them talking in the library. Edith Vanderbilt was known to throw the wildest pool parties on the East Coast. Hell yeah. So it's no surprise that people can still be heard splashing, laughing, and disembodied voices coming from the swimming pool room that has been empty for decades. Workers and visitors have reported hearing clinking glasses, laughter, and snatches of music echoing through the halls. Visitors often report seeing a headless cat wandering around the property. I would love to visit and film there. I don't know, man. Sounds like a crazy time. Anyone can visit, but I don't know what their rules are for filming on the property or for YouTube. Probably not crazy about it.
Yeah, I don't think so. And they got the money to make you stop. Yeah. Interesting thing about the Gatsby stuff. F. Scott Fitzgerald, he stayed at a hotel frequently in Asheville, so it's thought that he actually went to like some of the Biltmore parties, and Gatsby could have been based partly on that stuff. So.
Oh. Rebecca said Blake sounds like Morgan Freeman. Thanks, Rebecca. That's so nice of you. She actually said I sound like Burger King foot lettuce, which is apparently a thing now because it's been said by 2 different Redditors. They're like, is that the Burger King foot lettuce guy using voice changing software? So I think that from now on, we're just going to go with that. Hey, Michael Scott, how's it going? Good to see you. He said, hey, guys. Hey, Joey. Oh, hey,
Hi.
Johnny as well. Good to see you, Johnny.
Hi.
I had to break character for that. Let's see. Hey, Neil Evans. How's it going? Let's see. Mr. Ramsey said, is it beans on toast that isn't really a thing in America? Yeah, that's definitely not a thing in America. We keep our beans and our toast separate. You weirdos. Go eat some vanilla ice cream off a breakfast buffet.
Yeah, we don't even eat beans for breakfast. That's a UK thing. But have you guys ever stayed in a haunted room or in a haunted hotel or a house before? Like spent the night?
Every day of my life.
Yeah.
Well, every day since we used that Ouija board.
Oh my god. I spent the night at the Country Squire, which is located in Kenansville, North Carolina, and they have like an inn there, and it's a haunted area. And yeah, I have.
Was it worth it? Did it cost a lot of money? Every haunted place I've looked at costs a lot of money to stay there.
No, because I had connections through friends, and everything was pretty much free. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we've thought about staying at haunted places on our road trips and stuff, but every time it's like looking at it, it's like, oh, is it going to be worth it? And we haven't done it yet. So we want to. In fact, there's a hotel in Greensboro I didn't put on this list that we talked to some people about, and supposedly it's haunted. And a guy showed us a video that looked pretty creepy.
Isn't it also called the Biltmore Hotel or something like that?
It's called something famous. I don't think it's the Biltmore, but it's another famous name, and it's like a little tiny hotel. Like it looks like a bed and breakfast almost from the outside.
We'll have to do it. I'd be down for it. Because I know there was one room in there where like a woman had to be alone, and that's the only time the apparition would show up, but we couldn't find anyone, Rebecca, to do it. So, hey, you're a girl. You could do it. Brain. But yeah, like it's something I'd love to do, but apparently they don't give a shit about guys. It was like I think it was a prostitute killer or something like that. I can't remember the story.
Oh,
it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, like some story, I think a guy, he would get prostitutes and he would throw them off the balcony, or he did it one time. I can't remember. There was one that I think the woman got murdered in the shower, and they say you find like clumps of hair in the shower even though no one's been there. It was some pretty weird stuff, but it was a really cool story, and that wouldn't be a very long trip to go investigate. I guess you can request the room.
Yeah, we went on this ghost tour there, and they have places in Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and Charlotte, and it was really good. It's one of the best ghost tours we've ever been on, and I'd like to do the other cities and even Greensboro again, but we haven't done it yet. So, have you ever been to Asheville before? You guys didn't say you went to the Biltmore, but have you guys been to Asheville?
I'm sure I have, but I don't remember. Like, I don't think I've been for any particular reason. I might have been through it.
Yeah.
Just a long time ago. I haven't been recently, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah. It's supposedly I've been like when I was younger, but like even we mentioned Joe Rogan, he even talks about Asheville being like this great place that's so unique and different, but unlike most North Carolina, it's just like stuck randomly and just in the mountains, and it's different. Everyone should visit. We like talked about it on his podcast. And so if you ever go to the Biltmore, you should stay at this Grove Park Hotel. It's really haunted. It was built in 1913, and it's a large hotel and spa complex that was originally built using boulders from the nearby mountains. It's one of the most haunted hotels in North Carolina. It has a number of famous people that stayed there, including 10 presidents from Woodrow Wilson to Barack Obama. And it also included like Thomas Edison stayed there, Henry Ford, Harry Houdini, and F. Scott Fitzgerald, which I mentioned earlier. One guest hasn't checked out of there in 90 years is the Pink Lady in room 545. In the 1920s, a woman in a beautiful pink gown fell to her death off the 5th floor balcony. Some say she accidentally fell to her death, while others say she was purposely thrown from a balcony due to her broken heart. Or I skipped a line. Either she did it herself because of her broken heart, or a legend says that she got pregnant by a man she was seeing. She was a servant of the man. He found out about the pregnancy and threw her off so his wife wouldn't find out. So to keep their affair secret. So, but she's a friendly but mischievous ghost. She loves to pull pranks on the guests and staff. Some see the Pink Lady in some form or another, like in a dense fog or just like an apparition of pink hue. Others have spotted her, usually downstairs in the lobby near the fireplaces. Staff members also claim that the 5th and 6th floor lights flick on and off on their own, and it's the Pink Lady just playing around. Guests who stay in room 545 have complained of their belongings being moved around or feeling a distinct presence that is next to them or watching them. Would you spend the night alone in room 545?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's do it right now. It's not too late. It's only 8 o'clock. Let's go.
Drive down there. I'm like, we want that room.
I just wonder how many people get really pissed at like housekeeping for like moving their shit. It's just like, I just went in the room. Everything was moved around. It's garbage. Oh, man, it's a ghost.
Do not disturb sign was on. And Whiteout's here. What's up, Whiteout?
Hey, Whiteout. Sorry, I'm slacking on the chat.
In forever. No.
Yeah,
I saw you in a Mr. Reality stream and you were cheating on us. It hurt.
I didn't know that. I wouldn't have said hey if I knew that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mr. Reality, someone Jersey was saying that we need to have his I guess girlfriend, I don't know, 4 warnings on a stream sometime.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have them both on. There'd be a crazy accent extravaganza.
I know, it's intense. They're just talking in the chat about eating different weird food, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Whiteout. Whiteout said I'm half Native American and my Irish mother got me hooked on beans and toast. Oh damn it! They're still talking about food. I didn't read the end of it. All right, I'm not talking about.
Okay. All right, Joey. So if you're skeptical in the paranormal, how did you first get interested in it? Have you had any paranormal experiences that made you like question it?
Yes, multiple. I got started, I've always been a fan of things like the X-Files or like the most haunted places kind of stuff. So like I've just had an interest for weird stuff in general. So basically my sister, she had a boyfriend in 2011 who was a paranormal investigator, kind of a Zach Bagans wannabe. And he took us on these adventures, paranormal investigating places. And I became more of a skeptic after him because he was actually faking evidence. And so I was like, okay, we found out he was faking evidence. And so I was like, okay, recently I was, you know, feeling kind of down in my life. I wanted to try something different. And so I decided to start paranormal investigating and say, I want to see if this is the real deal. So I just grabbed my camera, looked up haunted places, and I just went. And probably the oddest paranormal thing that's happened to me was in my family home. And I was with my sister, and there was like no babies around or anything. And all of a sudden, there's like no electronics on, and I hear this baby crying in the back room. And I looked at my sister, and she was like, "What is that?" And I was like, I have no idea. And it was just weird because we both confirmed like we had no clue what it was. So that was probably the weirdest.
Did you have anything else happen in that house, or was it just that one incident?
I saw a shadow go across the wall once. Although I was like, you know, I was a bit intoxicated at the time, so I can't confirm if that was a real thing or not. But like that happened. And I was walking outside once, and I heard a growl randomly, and my brother was beside me, and there was no animals around us or anything. We couldn't pinpoint where it came from, but I just like froze automatically. I don't know if it was paranormal, but it's possible. There's a lot of freaky stuff going on at that time. So
I definitely wouldn't have been freaked out about the baby, especially if I went into that room and found a baby.
Like, whose baby is this?
What's like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, that's,
was it really paranormal? You could have just solved an unsolved mystery of how this baby got here. Missing baby.
That's the good thing with our channel. It's like either situation is a plus for us. It's like we can cover that either way. It's great. But you were talking about the guy like faking evidence. You reminded me of a story which I don't think I've ever told on. Probably haven't even told to Ethan. But I know it's not good, but it sucks. So I investigated a haunted insane asylum in Radford, Virginia, and it's St. Albans. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's supposed to be super haunted. It's one of the most notorious places on the East Coast, and we did. Blah, 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 blah. I wanted to do a private investigation, but at the time they only had the guided investigations, so we had to go with a tour guide, and it was a cool time. But he kind of threw me off because, for one, he didn't want to go into the lobotomy room. And I was like, that's where I wanted to go the most. And he was like, well, I've had bad things happen to me there. I don't want to go there. So you can't go without us. So I was like, whatever. But we did a session in one of the rooms that was supposed to be the home to like all the alcoholics of the ward. And supposedly they really like Johnny Cash. And if you played Johnny Cash, you'd get activity. Well, the guy had dowsing rods. And I had never used dowsing rods before. They're pretty neat. It was fun to play with. But again, he was really weird about people leaving where he was. Like of course, he probably had to keep an eye on people. But while he was doing that, I got bored. So I started like going off into a hallway. And he you could tell that he actually made his dowsing rods cross. He's like, oh, he doesn't like that guy going down that hallway. You need to come back. And I was like, okay, for real. And then someone else would go out of the room, and then they cross again. It's like, okay, dude, you're really making this hard to believe. But yeah, so I don't like people that fake evidence, or like people in the group I was in, they'd hear one woman, she felt a breeze, and she's like, oh my God, that was a ghost. And I looked around, there was a broken window like right beside us. It's like, that's where it's a breeze. So it's annoying. But on the same thing, dowsing rods are pretty neat. I don't know if there's any paranormal aspect to them, but we did have some weird stuff happen with them, which might be in a video. I don't know.
We still don't have any of our own. We have a spirit box and the EMF meter. I still haven't released the spirit box video. We have a teardown video of that. I need to work on that. So... But have you been to the USS North Carolina before? It's a battleship in Wilmington.
Did we see that? I know we didn't go, but did we? I don't remember seeing it either.
I've seen it, but I've actually been like my family used to have a house in Oak Island and North Carolina, and you'd go through Wilmington or at least on the little bypass, and you could see it. And I went there when I was like 8 or 9, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was also into ghosts back then, and I heard it was haunted, but I'd completely forgotten about it until I talked to Joey. She mentioned it, and then it made me look it up again. So it's pretty cool, and seeing it as a kid, it's awesome. So battleships.
Yeah, I've definitely been. The last time I went was in 2013, and it's huge. It's huge, and it's like it's very interesting, and sometimes a little claustrophobic in some areas. But I don't remember anything paranormal happening to me when I went, but I didn't have a proper investigation, so I don't know.
It'd be a fun time. I wouldn't be opposed to going back to Wilmington. You said that's where it was, right?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be a fun time. But oh wait, we didn't go to Wilmington. We went to Charleston. I'd been to Wilmington. I did probably see it then. I do remember. Okay. It's all coming back to me. I do remember a giant ship. I was thinking it was Norfolk, but it was Wilmington.
There's one in Norfolk also. I don't know if that one's haunted, but Norfolk also has a
battleship. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it was either Wilmington or Norfolk.
Yeah.
It was Wilmington. I remember now. I've got pictures of it, but it wasn't like I didn't know you could go on it. I also didn't know it was haunted. And this was also before The Strangest, so I had no reason to go on that ship. But cool. Good to know. I didn't know that that was a thing.
Yeah.
Let's go to Wilmington.
I know. We need to. There's a lot of stories there. And another place, like Oak Island's also near Southport. That's got a couple stories, and it's really like picturesque town. That town was filmed for I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like the exterior shots of that was there, and then Dawson's Creek, like that was used as a filming location. And then they were filmed in Wilmington in sound studios back when North Carolina had movie stuff going on before they let the tax exemptions drop.
Ethan, we could make a series of like places that filmed there, and like we already have New Orleans for American Horror Story.
I know we could. That's a good idea. We need to jump on that.
White Owl asks, "Was I drunk?" Yes, I think the whole trip I was. It's a lot of times that I'm just always drunk. It's better to ask. It's like, were you not drunk?
Yeah.
Life's a lot easier that way.
White Owl, are you still coming to Virginia in February? Do you know?
Let's see. After Dark Paranormal said you can use dowsing rods to sense where energy is. Side note, hold them close together and you can get hurt. Oh, I don't know. That's what I did. See, like I was being really skeptical when I used it because I've always heard that it reacts to metal or something like that. But I know that people like the guy that was using the rods, faking them, he was like moving them with his thumbs. So I made sure to put my hands together, like stabilize them, and like not move at all. And we'd ask questions. And at one point, they just started crossing really crazy, and then they'd go back. But I was keeping them steady. It could have been reacting to something else, like I think they said they're used to find wells or something like that, or pipes. Anyway, it did stuff. We got on video. It might be in the video about top 10 asylums that we did with.
Weird World.
Weird World, yeah. That's been a while.
Yeah, a year. It's coming up on a year. So, all right. Who wants to read the part about the U.S.? That's North Carolina. Anyone?
Who hasn't read one?
No, really. Who hasn't read?
You can read it, Joey, or I can read it. It doesn't matter.
If
you have it up.
1 second. I have it up, but my computer's lagging a bit.
I mean, you don't have to mess things up. Yeah, don't risk it. Don't get disconnected from the stream.
Okay.
All right. You said the USS North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay. The USS North Carolina was launched in 1940 and took part in every naval offensive in the Pacific Theater. She was the most decorated American battleship of World War II, although Japanese radio announcements claimed 6 times that it had been sunk. It survived many close calls and near misses with one hit when a Japanese torpedo hit the port side on the 15th of September 1942. A quick response allowed the ship to keep up with the fleet. By war's end, the battleship had lost only 10 men in action and had 67 wounded. She's now a museum ship and memorial docked at the seaport of Wilmington, North Carolina, so anyone can visit her, and I don't think they would mind people filming. Visitors, staff, and investigators have all confirmed seeing figures in various passageways and portholes around the ship. Many believe those 10 that passed away on the USS North Carolina still haunt the ship. One sailor who was a soldier died in the battleship's washroom during a torpedo strike and is one of the most often seen apparitions on board. Would you visit the ship? Tomorrow they are having a special meetup with ghost hunters Steve Gonzalez, or Solves, Chris Smith, and Mike Gontclade from 9 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. for people who purchase tickets. It's sold out. Damn you, Ethan.
I know, I'm sorry. It was late when I saw this.
They're well-known paranormal investigators who have appeared on Ghost Hunters and Destination America's Ghost Asylum and Haunted Towns on the Sci-Fi Channel. I would love to do that, but it's probably been sold out for a while now. At least I would think.
Yeah.
Something about ships, though, like the Queen Mary? I know that's one of the most haunted ships, and Michael Scott got to go there. Lucky.
I want to go there.
Yeah, that was one of the, like, back when I was a kid, the whole it wasn't Ghost Adventures, but it was like around Halloween they do most haunted places in the world or whatever with the Exorcist lady's voice, or what was it? Not Exorcist, Poltergeist. And it was like creepiest places. And I just remember Queen Mary, Dracula's Castle. Those two always stood out. So those have always been on my to-go list. But the Queen Mary is a little bit more feasible.
We should do it. Just fly out there. Road trip it. That'd be an adventure. Across America. Take a month.
Jesus Christ. Like,
that'd be awesome.
It'd be amazing if I could just get a month off from work or 2 months off from work and actually get paid for it.
Just stop working. Just, that's whatever.
Yeah. See, maybe if we can get a couple more thousand. I mean, I know we're really close to 5,000, but even that's not going to pay for a 2-month vacation. Because, I mean, how long does it take to drive from Virginia to California? That's at least a, 3-day trip?
Yeah, probably 3 days.
Ugh.
Yeah, 3 days. It would be 3 days. I've done it.
That's rough. Like, I don't mind driving. I do it a lot for work. And when we went to Louisiana, I did all the driving because I feel awkward in the passenger seat. But that is a long drive. And I know this year, it's this year now, we want to go on a trip up north. Yeah. So that would be cool.
See Mr. Reality, he's supposed to be in Boston. Be a fun time. Yeah.
And then maybe next year we can go west.
Yeah, I really want to go west and see everyone out west and just see everything. Or what else at Seattle? Actually, we have friends in Washington too, and they've been trying to tell us for a long time to go there, get some real Bigfoot footage. It'd be nice.
That would be a fun time. Seattle would probably be very interesting.
Yeah. What are some other good haunted places in Wilmington? You guys know of anywhere else that's haunted?
The Bellamy Mansion. It seems to be very haunted. And across the street from the Bellamy Mansion is the Price Gauze House, which is now an architecture firm. And they did supposedly hangings over there. And they found bodies like bones and stuff, remains underneath whenever they were reconstructing it in the 1970s. And basically it was like the law stuff back then. So you were hung if you did something wrong, basically, or, supposedly.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, when I went there, it had kind of the whole place, like there were some ominous places, so I could see it being haunted. But I wish I'd known. Of course, it's not that bad. It's like a 3-hour drive. So we could definitely make like a weekend trip out of it and go investigate.
I really want to. Like when we had the house down there, when I was a kid, I got I still have it, a ghost book on all the little areas that are haunted down there. And I've always wanted to film and do stuff down there, but we haven't been. And we went to Pawleys Island. Well, me and Rebecca went to Pawleys Island and got that footage, and that turned out really well. So, and Mr. Ramsey said if they had any old mental asylums And Joey mentioned the one in Colombia that I've actually filmed the outside of, because you can go on the property, you just can't go in the little places. I don't even remember what it's called, but that's something and we just haven't made a video about yet.
There's a lot of places we haven't made videos about.
Yeah, one day. Iceland was a year and a half in the making, so hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, Iceland, it's been sitting around for a while, but it's done really well. Ethan killed it. Like it went, I think it's like 4,200 now on its second day. That's pretty good for us.
It's like 4,600, not 47.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
okay. It's getting close to 5,000. It's one of our fastest videos. I've been really excited about it.
I think it's our fastest non-unsolved mystery.
It is. That's true. It's our yeah. It's definitely the fastest like legend one, and yeah, the unsolved mysteries are the only ones that really take off like that. So.
Mr. Ramsey said he saw on Reddit. Then he also probably saw the, is this the Burger King foot lettuce guy? Did you know that Burger King foot lettuce was featured in PewDiePie's version of the YouTube Rewind?
I did. I laughed so hard when I saw that. I'm like, that could be us one day. One day.
It's pretty crazy to think that a horror narrator made it to PewDiePie's list. But I guess through the power of memes, anything is possible.
Yeah. Blake, you need to become a living meme. Get us there.
I mean, just we need to release more of those kinky videos and just have my deadpan voice. Next on the kinkiest, weirdest fetishes. I really want that video to be live. I wish YouTube's algorithm would allow it. Like they'd strike us down so hard.
Editing it, like one thing we've been testing on Patreon. We were talking about this when Joey joined. Is like we're doing these like free form conversations, kind of like this, that are partly scripted. So we're going to try that and then try to edit it down a little bit and make it more like a mix between the live stream and a real video, and then maybe edit in like some footage if we have any, or pictures from the internet if there's any. So
that'd be fun.
Yeah, test it out and see. So the first one we're actually going to test it on is Unsolved Mysteries from 2018. So
that would be a good one. See you later, White Owl. She said going out with her boyfriend. I feel like we've just been like following her life. Is like back when it was just a date. Now it's a boyfriend. Next thing you know, next video it's going to be married, then divorced. They grow up so fast. No, have a good night.
I have to set the White Owl free sometime.
But yeah, I'm excited to do that. I like those videos. They're very freeform. But
so, I was gonna say, so what's the creepiest place you visited for your channel? Because it looks like you've gone to some like creepy places, abandoned places. Sometimes seems a little sketchy. Did anyone anywhere freak you out?
Well, I did go to this abandoned Catholic school in Virginia, and it was kind of creepy going in there. I don't know if it was haunted. I don't think it was haunted. I didn't experience anything on my video or anything like that, but it was pretty creepy because I was pretty much by myself inside the building, and it's like kind of like locked down. So yeah, that was probably the creepiest. Crawling through windows. I got like 30 bruises, so that was great.
Where was that at?
It's in Powhatan, Virginia.
Okay. I don't know where that is.
Is that near Richmond by chance? I just know that Powhatan Parkway.
It's close.
Oh, Powhatan.
Close to,
I thought you said Powhatan.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's pretty hardcore. That's the thing about investigating. Like I love the idea of going to these abandoned places. I don't like the idea of getting arrested. And I don't fear the cops, but I'm always paranoid, and I feel like I wouldn't be able to enjoy myself. Because like we have some places in where we live that are like the local haunted spots, but they're all open areas. They're all outside. So it's like, well, for the most part. So it's like you don't have to worry about getting caught per se. You can just be like, oh, I took a wrong turn. My bad. But no, I mean, I'd love to have the opportunity to actually like investigate an asylum. Oh, thank you, Sightless Sonder. Appreciate that. You got the pie going on. You gave us a pie donation. Thank you. But you're awesome. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
We did an abandoned video in New Orleans, and that's done really well. It got picked up by the algorithm, and it's helped us a lot. But even there, we only got to go in one place, the naval complex, because that was the only one that seemed like we weren't going to get arrested for trespassing. So
I didn't know if you were going to like survive that, because that was a
little
pretty
sketchy.
Place.
I just went by myself with Sassy. It's like, we'll see.
And it had like our only knowledge of the place was that it was like a known place for drug addicts, like heroin, like people just like shooting up and going crazy. And Ethan's like, I'm just gonna go walk over there and just film. But
We went
it's
in the daylight. We first saw it at night. Like when we got to New Orleans, like it was like right behind our Airbnb. We went to this bar that was like a street over, and just like there's this giant, like huge, massive complex. Like it's insane how big it is, and it just looks empty and just like a homeless person like apartment, and it's insane. And we just ask them about it, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna get stabbed or shanked if you go in there." But
super nice guy though. I want to go meet him again.
yeah, the bar Redux, if you're ever in New Orleans. It's a fun time. But have you guys ever heard of or been to the Devil's Stomping Ground? Somewhere me and Blake have talked about going, but never
We've been talking
have.
about that since the channel began.
Yeah. We
That was gonna
originally
be our first
had
place.
Yeah, we originally had an idea where we were like we do like a cycle of videos of like themed videos, and one of the cycles were going to be like investigation type, but we never released any of it. We even have one on Gravity Hill. We never edited together, but it seems like a cool place that would be fun to camp out.
Absolutely. I want to go. I've been planning on going. I wanted to camp out specifically. So if you guys ever want to do that, I'm up for it.
Definitely. That'd be an easy collab. We could do it. Fuck it, do it now. What was the time?
These could be collabs. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it when it's not raining. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, we definitely need an excuse to go. So that'd be great. Maybe that'll actually get us to go because we procrastinate. It's like the places, it's like, oh man, we got to go there. That's like at least an hour or so away. Let's just go to New Orleans.
I feel you.
Teresa said, I think I saw a video you did in New Orleans. Thanks. Thanks for watching it. It was a fun time. Ghostwatch said, I've done a video on the Devil's Stomping Ground a while back. Creepy urban legend. That's awesome, Ghostwatch.
Yeah, the really cool thing about Ghostwatch's channel is he does a lot of these smaller legends and hauntings. So if you're really into like more obscure stuff, he's got videos on everything. Like anything I think is something really unique to our channel, I found it. Then I'm like going through YouTube and Ghostwatch has a video on it already from like a year or two ago. So he's got a lot of cool stuff.
I remember the first time I heard of Ghostwatch. Like our very first video was the University of Notre Dame. And then I think I saw the video from Ghostwatch. I think he did one on Notre Dame, and I was like, who is this guy? And like, he's just awesome dude. Like, definitely go check him out. He's got a lot of cool videos. And if I ever get back up to Michigan or the Indiana area, gotta do something, man. I was supposed to go a couple months ago, but they keep putting it off. So sometime we're just going to do all the collabs. Everyone in the chat, collab to you. Look under your seat, collab. But no, I'd definitely be down for the Devil's Stomping Ground. We'll just leave Sassy in the middle.
Yeah, see what happens.
Okay.
We'll attach a GoPro to her just in case.
Okay. If you guys don't know what it is, it's a mysterious but perfectly round, absolutely barren circle that's about 40 feet in diameter in the middle of like the pine woods of Chatham County, North Carolina. Not a tree, flower, or any weed will grow in this area. It's completely like off limits to like life, supposedly. I've seen some pictures that have some weeds in it though. But people supposedly plant stuff in there and nothing will grow. Like vegetation just dies. It's a popular place for people to camp out, and there's a number of local legends that exist around the area, and it's actually a lot of them date back hundreds of years ago. So dogs will tuck their tails, so if Sassy was there, she'll freak out, they'll howl, whimper, they don't like it. It frightens animals, they'll dig their heels into the ground and refuse to enter the circle. Supposedly, any object you leave in the circle before dark will be violently moved out of the bounds of the circle by dawn. So supposedly the legend says that the very place is where the devil himself can rise from the depths of hell and come to earth. It is this place where he just supposedly walks around in circles, contemplating life, death, and everything around him. So, but on certain nights, he just brings evil into the world and hangs out. So there was a post originally dating back from a Greensboro journalist. He was a newspaper editor and author that advised the North Carolina governor and other textile executives back when that was a thing in North Carolina. And he had this thing to say about the area. He said the devil goes there to walk in circles as he thinks up new means of causing trouble for humanity. There's sometimes during the dark of night, the majesty of the underworld of evil silently just tramps around in a bare circle, thinking, plotting, and planning against all things good and on behalf of all things wrong. I've heard the Boy Scouts that spent the night there and woke up to their tents a few miles away. There are also some guys who try to stay up the whole night, and two men who tried to stay up the whole night but were lulled asleep by a soft voice. It is rumored that ancient coins have been found there in the circle. Legend says that people who stay the whole night in the circle are never seen again. Many people have reported seeing strange shadowy like figures in the tree lines watching them while they camp out there. There have been a number of reports of satanic rituals that have taken place in the circle. People usually hear a soothing voice and a melody that makes them fall asleep when they're in the area, but when they wake up, they're miles away from the circle. The mystery of the stomping ground or tramping ground has been known since the county was founded, shortly before the War for Independence. From generation to generation, the story has been passed down, despite scientists that have tried to explain this barren patch of land that's been there for hundreds of years. No one has been able to give a real explanation, except maybe teenagers walk around in circles about this place and freak out about it. Today, the spot is kind of trashy and dirty from all the people who visit and try to stay the night there. Usually after like drinking and partying, we have a spot kind of in this area where people try to go when they're already drunk and visit. So you'll see a lot of empty beer bottles, campfire ash, and other litter and evidence of people trespassing. The land is technically private property, but they don't really enforce trespassing. It's been in the same family, the Bob Dowd's family name, for over 100 years. And they're actually kind of cool about people coming by, and they'll supposedly maybe talk to you if you knock on their door and tell you some stories. So people have theories that range from like the devil to UFOs or like even a sacred burial ground. But none of these theories are actually backed by historical accounts, even though legends date back to like the first settlers of North Carolina. Be a fun video to do sometime, collaboration. But would you guys be brave enough to spend the night inside the devil's tramping ground?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I was all for it until you told me that no weed will grow.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't grow any weed. It's like, damn it. I'm a child. But yeah,
Can't do it now.
I would definitely do it. I definitely wouldn't bring my wallet. I feel like that's something that people would be like, all right, these people are going to come in here and we'll just rob them. It'll be great. That's probably how the city, like the county gets their income.
Oh
It's just
my God.
taking from people. But no, I'd definitely do it. It'd be a fun time.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
I'd be
down.
more scared of the people around the area. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like in anything that we do, I'm not afraid of the paranormal. I'm not afraid of animals for the most part. It's just I'm afraid of getting arrested because it's like, man, until I can do YouTube for full time, I need my record to be okay. I'm that kid. But yeah, it would definitely be a good time. I'd be down for it. We have to make a video about it, so it's kind
one
of
day we got to. So Joey, have you ever had any strange encounters with people, like in your videos going to these places? Has anyone tried to mess with you?
No, actually, I haven't. Nobody's really done anything. I haven't come across anything weird yet. In life in general, yeah, but not while I've been paranormal investigating. Not at all.
Yeah. What's the strangest encounter you've had normally then? What's the weirdest thing someone's come up and done or said to you or you've seen?
That's a hard one. I can tell you of an experience like I had to deal with whenever I was working at a gas station, and I had a stalker who would wait outside for me all the time, and the police had to get involved where they'd have to come by every night, and he eventually got banned from the property because it got so bad. He would harass me constantly. So yeah.
That's really creepy. Have you heard from him since, or did he eventually disappear?
Well, I disappeared and I went to Brazil right after that, and I haven't seen him since, so it's a good sign.
I mean, that's pretty hardcore. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to Brazil. That's the one way to get rid of a stalker. Just delete
Absolutely.
delete your record, cleanse your fingerprints, move to Brazil.
Yep.
No, people are crazy, especially gas station people. I feel like that's a whole other breed. It's like Walmart gas station people.
Oh yeah. Oh
So-
yeah. I've many experiences there. Yeah.
There could be a video on gas station stories. We could do that.
Oh yeah.
I heard that door open. I thought it was in mine, and I was like, "Who the?"
Nice, Rebecca bringing the switch down to charge, being all loud, creaking, and the dog's coming too.
Yeah, Ethan got a Switch for Christmas because he's spoiled, and Rebecca bought him so much shit, which I actually had to go to Durham to get because everywhere else was sold out. So that was fun. You're welcome, Ethan.
Thank you. So, have you had any weird encounters on YouTube? Like most people get a stalker, like females get a stalker when they start a channel. And you had one before. Any weird things on the channel?
Sometimes I get questionable things, but not really. I've throughout my life on the internet, I once had somebody, like I used to be on this live chat in general, like sometimes I go in groups and stuff, and somebody had taken a picture of my webcam and they put it on a t-shirt and then they sent it to me. They showed me it and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I don't know why, but that's probably the creepiest thing that's happened.
That's really weird, especially if you didn't know the webcam was on.
Oh no, the camera, I knew the camera was on, but it was just like a live chat. It was some public chat room and it was just some stranger who just took my picture, and then later like they just showed me that they printed my face on it. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. I've never experienced this before.
That's really weird. Yeah. I had this girl in high school that was really creepy, and my best friend and I at the time, like, she went in to like our I guess it was our MySpace, and like took pictures of us and then edited them with Photoshop and just like did nothing embarrassing, just like stupid stuff to them, and that was creepy enough. But it's like I don't know. I don't like being watched. Don't pay attention to this live stream. But sorry, Ghostwatch said the Switch is awesome. Add us, bro. I don't know my code.
But... Yeah, you just skipped Johnny. Johnny said, "Who's your favorite YouTuber who isn't paranormal related?"
I was gonna get to it. I forgot. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I can tell you who it used to be, but now he doesn't post anymore. It used to be a guy named Julian Smith. And he did some really good videos. They were all skit videos. But currently, I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I watch weird, like, I guess now it's kind of meta. I mean, not meta, it's kind of mainstream. Like game theory, film theory, stuff like that. But I don't really watch anyone religiously. I'm a bad YouTuber.
Yeah. My favorite has always been Casey Neistat. Like, literally, like, life-changing.
K-pop.
Yeah, that was lame. He hasn't been posting as much either. And lately I've been like going through a bunch of essay channels, like the video essays. Like there's this one guy, Billiam or whatever. I just watched probably like 2 hours of his videos, and an hour and a half of it was him like reviewing Digimon seasons. That's really embarrassing, but I like people who do the essays. It's pretty interesting.
I like Jeffree Star. He's pretty funny. He makes me laugh.
Yeah, Rebecca really likes Jeffree Star.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was such a big deal. Like the only thing I knew him from was like early Hollywood Undead songs. And
he's making millions now.
Yeah, he's making probably a lot more money than he was back then. But I didn't really. Yeah, I didn't know he was really relevant until Shane Dawson did the thing with him. But Shane Dawson, that's a good answer. Like I like Shane Dawson a lot. I think he's like the only OG that's still good. Like everyone else is either withered away or they're not doing anything anymore. But he's been around since like my Shane Dawson had really long hair, like I think he worked at like a gym way back in the days, like 2006. Now he's just grown up and multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
But who's your? Well, you already said Casey Neistat. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. But have you guys heard of the Mountain Lights near Brown Mountain, North Carolina?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yes, she
Oh,
she
yeah.
even mentioned it in the Twitter message. So what had you heard about them before? Like, have you seen them or just interested in them?
I'm just interested in them because I've heard about it like a long time ago, and it's just like these random lights that appear out of nowhere, and there's a lot of legends behind it. I I'm just curious. I plan to go there. They say it happens typically in like October, November, around that time at night. So that's when I want to go, where it'll happen most likely.
Yeah.
So what's the deal?
I mean, you can read it and you can tell us all about it, man.
Oh, cool. Let's learn. All right. So the orb-shaped lights of varying sizes and colors draw tons of curious people to the area of the Brown Mountains every year. The best time of year to see them is reportedly September through early November. We missed that. The lights can be seen from the Blue Ridge Parkway at milepost 310, which is the Brown Mountain Light Overlook, and 301 Green Mountain Overlook. And from the Brown Mountain Overlook on North Carolina Highway 181 between Morganton, NC, and Linville, NC. Additionally, good sightings of the lights have been reported over the top of Table Rock outside of Morganton, North Carolina. One of the best vantage points, Wiseman's View, is about 4 miles from Linville Falls. There is also a Brown Mountain Overlook on North Carolina Highway 181 that was recently improved with help of the city of Morganton for the purpose of attracting those who visit the area to see the lights. The lights have been reportedly seen for hundreds of years. One of the earliest written records of the lights is from the dates of September 24th, 1913, as reported in the Charlotte Daily Observer. Fishermen claim to have seen mysterious lights seen just above the horizon every night, red in color, with a pronounced circular shape. There have been various different suggestions made to explain the lights, including everything from ghosts to aliens. The earliest legend recounts a great and bloody battle between the Cherokee and Catawba, that's probably it, tribes. After the carnage, women went looking for their lost husbands. According to legend, the lights are the heartbroken women who are still searching for their loved ones. Huh. It sounds a lot like the Northern Lights. Is it kind of like a variation, possibly, or is it something you would think is paranormal?
I meant to put in what other people. Apparently, I didn't finish that one. Give me a second. There was one where I talked about it more. Oh man, I missed a paragraph talking about it. Hold on.
You also put scene as scene, like a movie scene.
I'm sorry,
I just
man.
want to throw that out there while we're talking.
And I write these really, really fast, and like these I don't really edit. So, hold on.
Amy only said I met Jeffree Star because we had the same friends, and he's honestly an asshole. Sorry, but it's true. I mean, he does seem like a pretty big diva. So, I mean, he's like in the videos I've seen of him, he seems very boisterous. So,
I mean, he's a millionaire now, so now he's like even more like, oh, I can do whatever. So,
yeah, so that's whatever, man. I feel like a lot of people are probably assholes behind closed doors, though. Yeah. Except Shane Dawson. I feel like he's super nice.
So here's a funny story about Blake. Soggy Seal, our friend who's been in videos before and helps like post these on the podcast platforms. He said like he thought Blake was like super fake from the live stream. He's like, Blake can't be that nice in person. Like he's like, he just has this really nice persona. And then he meets Blake at one of our friends' weddings, and he's just like, I love that dude. He's so friendly.
Joke's on him. That was a fake too.
Blake was drunk, so that was drunk Blake.
Say what?
You were drunk then, so
I'm drunk now. Surprisingly drunk. Like I'm only on like my 6th beer, and I'm feeling it. Like I'm feeling like a lightweight again. So I would say I haven't drank in a while, but damn, it's only been a couple nights.
Oh, here we go. Here's the thing I meant to talk about, and I'm reading from this NorthCarolinaGhost.com. But I meant to like put this in there, and there was something else from another site, but I don't remember what it is. But there's supposedly a lot of different explanations to what the lights actually might have been. I was gonna say swamp gas. I thought I read that somewhere, but I always think that's bullshit. I really want to see swamp gas in real life. But other people think it's automobile headlights and reflections from like trains in the area, especially like back in the 1800s. There was a train route. But supposedly there was a big power outage, and this is what I'm remembering from the other site. There was a big power outage in the 1800s where trains, even though they're coal, whatever, things couldn't run for like a week. They couldn't get everything shut down, and people still reported seeing the lights. So that factored out like electricity and modern inventions. But other people have said that like, oh, here it is. I guess I just should have read more. In 1916, a flood shut down all automobile and railway traffic in the valley below. So the swamp gas theory seems the most believable, but I really like to see swamp gas in real life because I hear that explanation for like aliens, ghosts, and everything. It just seems like a made up government excuse.
I was really hoping Swamp Dweller would pop up in the chat. So you want to see some swamp gas? I got you, brother. Ghostwatch said supposedly all paranormal activity is swamp gas. What the fuck is swamp gas? I mean, I guess I would explain a lot of the southern, like Louisiana stories. It's like, it's just swamp gas. But yeah, I'd never heard of that as an actual excuse before.
I just think if it's real, you would have had more like examples of it online, or you would know it was real instead of like, this might be real. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd like to see that though. So next year we'll have to put that on the calendar.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you guys are skeptical of?
Oh boy. I don't know.
Ethan's not used to me asking the questions.
I know. You threw me off. Something I'm skeptical of. I don't like people who seem like they've... Oh, here's a big one. I don't like hypnosis alien stuff. Like people who remember alien encounters after hypnosis. Like we haven't covered any of those for that reason because I think that's made up. So...
Ethan's still salty about the Fourth Kind movie.
I mean, I like the Fourth Kind. It just seems like an scapegoat. I don't like people. If we were gonna cover one where you have like retrieved memories, like that would be the Betty and Barney Hill case because that's one of my favorite ones that actually have it. So.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, I don't really have a opinion either way. But sometimes, I guess you'd call it deja vu to an extent. But do you ever have like almost like a memory that you did something really bad, like something horrible, but then you're like, I know that didn't happen, but you almost feel like you did. Like maybe you just in a past life you did this, and maybe hypnosis uncovers it. I don't know. Like sometimes I just have like these thoughts about like running away from the police. Again, back to law enforcement. But it's like, I never did that, but it feels like it happened. Maybe I'm like a Mr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type. I don't know. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying my multi-personality talk. But what are you skeptical of?
This is going to be unpopular opinion, but I'm very skeptical of the Ouija board. I've never had an experience. I've tried it several times, and yeah, I don't know. I'm very skeptic about it.
Gotcha. Well, that's the end of the stream tonight, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, Joey. Yeah, we're just gonna end it there. No, I'm very skeptical too. And I'm sorry, did I cut you off? Were you done?
I'm good. I'm good now.
Yeah. We did a video on the Ouija board. And I'm very skeptical as well. And that's why I allowed it to be done in my house, because I was like, what's going to happen? And it was myself, Ethan, and one of our friends named Jaron, who's been in a couple of our videos. And we did it, and I was expecting, like in the video, like I think we've got the uncut video on, like it might be on our side channel. But in the video, I'm just like, all right, well, this is going to be a very boring video. It's like, it's going to be an hour of nothing happening. But it did start to move, and me being skeptical, I tried to like take my hand off of the cursor and like, you know, try to catch other people moving it. But I couldn't make them like slip up. So either they were just really good at it or something weird was happening. My theory is that it's probably just, you know, between 3 people really not trying to move it, it's enough force to move it. But I'm still skeptical about it. But the weird thing that happened was it kept going TV, TV, TV. And like in the video, you can see me, I'm like, what's up with the TV? And we never found out. Well, until recently, I think. But I was like probably a month later, I was watching TV with my dog because that's my best friend, my only friend. And I hear a giant crash upstairs. And it ends up being a mirror in my bathroom that's like fallen off, like flipped over, shattered everywhere. And I have to clean it up. Well, Ethan comes the next day and he's like, yo, what happened to your mirror? And I'm telling him the story. And then we hear like static. Well, I thought it was in my air conditioner at the time. I was like, what is that? And we have a locked room in my house that my dad owns the house I live in. I just kind of rent it. And he has one locked room with just like storage stuff that he puts all his furniture and stuff. And it ended up being the TV in that room, like on static. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And Ethan was like, I don't know. And like, I think Ethan I can't remember. Did you touch the doorknob? He might not be.
No, I'm here. Yeah, I messed with it, just joking. And we were just right there at it. And we were just making jokes about it.
And then it turned off. So again, I'm very skeptical of Ouija boards, but it was a very weird coincidence that happened. So, and
Interesting.
Yeah, again, skeptical, probably a coincidence. I'm sure it could be explained, but it was weird at the time. I'm glad Ethan was there to witness it, because otherwise it would just been like another story that's like, oh, believe it or don't.
Now, I said it before, like I really thought he was just hiding like a girl there that he didn't want me to see while we filmed this thing, or we were transferring files. And so I really didn't think that much of it until like he told me more about it, and it was really creepy.
Yeah. So what are your opinions on Ouija boards, Ethan? Do you think they're real?
That thing was weird. I would definitely wouldn't do it at my own house or the office or our office that I work at. So not somewhere I am constantly. So I've had enough.
How about we do Ouija board at the stomping grounds?
Oh yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, because fuck the stomping grounds. If it gets haunted, that's just good for them.
Yeah. Do it for the views. That
was another thing when I went to the insane asylum. Not the time I was admitted, but the time that I went to visit. That was a joke, guys. They did not allow Ouija boards or anything like that because they said they didn't want anyone like exorcising the spirits, which is kind of fucked up when you think about it. But they were like, if there's anything in our facility, we can't allow you guys to get rid of them. So you can't bring anything to contact them. You can't do a seance or anything like that. So it's like they think if it is haunted, they think it is, and they just want to keep the spirits from moving on for their own profit. Which, hey, that's a good business motto, I guess. But what's something you're skeptical about, Ethan? Did you answer?
Oh, I said the hypnosis alien retrieval memory stuff.
Oh, I'm the one that didn't answer.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm skeptical of psychics.
Yeah. Blake actually has done a really good psychic impression before when we were on the road trip. You should do it. The whatever TV lady that you mentioned that I'd never heard before.
What's her name? All of them. They're basically all frauds from what I've seen, but the ones that really piss me off are Sylvia Brown.
Yeah.
What's her name? The Long Island medium. I can't remember her name. It's something Italian. But anyway, they're really despicable people. And they prey and make money off of people, thinking that they're contacting their loved ones, but they'll have a big crowd of people and they'll be like, okay, I've got a spirit talking to me. They said it's a man and he died. Does anyone in the audience know a man that died? And people are like, oh, well, I know a man that died. And they're like, okay, the man that died, his name started with J. Okay, does anyone know a man with J? That's not the most popular letter to be named, guys, just in case you don't Google it. But then they just keep saying just random, like very easy things. It's like, this person died from cancer. And it's just, they give people hope. They're like, oh, well, they said they're thinking of you. They're on the other side. They're looking after you. And it's just really scummy. I can't. I don't have any respect for the people that do it. There's a lot of compilations that I suggest you guys go look up after, sometime, where it's just like the psychics failing, and it's amazing.
You should do a react to that, Blake. Why aren't you on that?
I'll probably get claimed, striked by the people that like the actual psychics.
Do it on Stay Strange. It won't matter.
Yeah, but there's a guy named James Randi, and if you haven't seen him, he's really good. He used to be a magician, and now he spends his life like debunking people that claim that they're paranormal or stuff. He's the one that basically killed the careers of Uri Geller and Peter Popoff, the faith healer, which is a whole nother level of just shit people.
I saw the faith healer video where they had him on a talk show or whatever, and they didn't give him a thing to do or say. They didn't prompt it. And he just kept being like, I can't use my powers right now.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah.
And there was one where the guy I was talking about, James Randi, he brought in like a radio signal, whatever radio. And the guy, Peter Popoff, is like, if you've ever been awake at 3 a.m. and seen the faith healer church, where he just like puts his hand on the person, is like, you're being saved by Jesus. You're not blind. Take a step to make the devil mad. And he would just say a random person's name, and they'd stand up. He'd be like, you live on this street. This is your phone number, blah, blah, blah. And they'd be like, oh my God, how does he know all that? Well, when the people would come in, like they'd fill out a prayer card. And it was actually his wife, like getting the prayer cards and telling him the information over the over the radio signal. And yeah, he was stealing money. That was the guy that popularized the holy water that he'd send you, and then you'd send him $10 back. You'd use the holy water on yourself, and it would heal you or something like that. But yeah, that's my rant. I don't like psychics.
Yeah.
I don't believe that anyone is. And the guy, I'll end it with this. The guy, James Randi, he has a $1 million challenge to any psychic or anything that can prove that they're a psychic, and no one has taken him up on it, or the people that have failed miserably. And he puts that on YouTube, so yeah, that's good.
Lori said she dropped us a like, and then Kenneth also said, how come no psychic warned us about September 11th would be a bad day? It's because it was an inside job, man. Inside. No psychic could hear it.
That's another thing they made a big point of, is like, if a psychic was real, well, they'd be like, okay, they're saying that his name starts with a J, but they can't tell you his full name. It's like, is the spirit just fucking with him? It's like, all right, here's who I am. My name has 5 letters in it. Okay, I had brown hair, but I'm not gonna tell you my name.
It's breaking up, man. The connection's not strong. It's like they're stuttering.
Yeah, so that's my rant. It'll probably come back again very soon, but that's my rant for now.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do the last one, last story from North Carolina. If you guys know of any other places from North Carolina, Kenneth has said Nags Head. He's got some stories from there, like their lighthouses and stuff in the Outer Banks. But the last one is close to us. It's in Greensboro. It's my favorite, close nearby North Carolina city. So we've actually been under this bridge. It's called Lydia's Bridge in Greensboro. It's one of the most haunted spots in North Carolina. We haven't actually gotten out the filmed. We've just filmed a lot of like extra shots. We even filmed a campus in Greensboro, but have never edited together. But supposedly the bridge, local legend states a young woman named Lydia crashed on the bridge on her way home from a dance with her date. Her date died on impact, leaving her injured and alone. And she was trying to desperately flag someone down for help. Yet, unfortunately, no one came, and she also died on the side of the road. On rainy nights, drivers have said they see a young woman in a white evening gown on the side of the road trying to flag down a passing car for a ride home. Over the years, many drivers have actually claimed to give her a ride, and every time the story goes the same. She climbs into the back seat of the car and says her name is Lydia, and she's been to a dance. She gives them an address not too far away from where the ride starts. She looks really quiet. She's really quiet and looks very concerned. When you reach the address, she either vanishes, like when she gets out of the car, or if the door is locked, you have to get out, open the door, and you can go knock on the door, and her mother will come out. If her mother comes out, she'll explain that Lydia actually died, and her mother is heartbroken, and she has never left the house again. But currently, her mom has also died, so that's also a ghost. because she died waiting for her daughter to come back home. The bridge is no longer in use, but you can still go see it. You pass under it. So you just have to be aware or wary of any hitchhikers in Greensboro, North Carolina. So watch out for 29. So
Yeah, 29's dangerous, man.
yeah.
Speaking of which, would you ever pick up a hitchhiker?
No, I'm sorry.
I was asked last week by someone, actually. This random guy. I was at the gas station, and this random guy just decided to say, he's like, I need to go to the hospital. My girlfriend's having a panic attack. He's by himself. He has a backpack. And I'm like, I can't do it. And he just like automatically left before I could think like calling him an Uber or something. But I was just like, I can't, I can't trust people.
No, I don't blame you at all. And I wouldn't either. Like I feel bad because I know some people, like if I was in a situation where I had to walk a long way, I'd want someone to pick me up. But at the same time, like it's a real easy way to get killed or carjacked or just robbed. Because like I've never been approached by a hitchhiker. Like, I mean, not like face to face. Like I've passed them before. Like I've had a lot of people being like, "Hey man, can I get money to go to the hospital?" And their mom's always in the hospital. And I had one guy try to follow me to the ATM. Like I don't like that's a good way to die. So I wouldn't do it, especially not where we live. And we don't have the option of Uber. Like I think we have one Uber driver.
Yeah, we have one Uber, one Lyft now currently. They were advertising the shit out of that on New Year's too. I'm like, holy
Busy night.
Yeah. No. My grandpa was actually, he tells me the story of when him and his dad, so my great grandfather, he was driving. They picked up a hitchhiker, and this was in Buchanan, Virginia. And he's like, I'm going here. And he's like, oh, well, I can take you halfway because we're going to like turn off here. And the guy says, okay. So he gets to where they're going to drop him off. And the guy's like, oh, no, you're going to keep like taking me further. You have to. And he gets all angry and like pulls out a knife. And then my great grandfather slams on the brakes and pulls out a gun and says, no, sir, you're getting out right here, and puts it to his head. So, and the dude gets out and scurries away. So that's a pretty crazy, badass story. Another story my grandpa told me, which is very scarring, that if you think about it, he just casually told me one day, like him and his friends snuck out to a bar when they were like 14 or 15. They were like sitting at the bar stools, and these two drunks like get into a fight about who's going to take home the bartender that night. And apparently these guys were best friends. They were just drunk and having fun. All of a sudden, one of the drunk guys pulls out a gun and shoots the other guy in the head. And my grandpa was sitting next to him and saw this whole thing happen. And he just casually told me this story when I was like 25, after I've known him my whole life. I'm like, that seems like a pretty scarring story that you would have talked about before. So
that's awful.
That is. It's crazy. Wow. Yeah.
People. That just shows how like what an interesting life that man has had. That was just on the back. Like he's like, oh yeah, this one time I saw this guy get shot in the head.
So one time I wrote this guy's insurance, and my grandpa was just like, oh, it's that guy. I knew his father. He died in front of me when I was eating lunch. He had a massive heart attack. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, do you ask him about his dad? I'm like, no, I didn't even ask about this 40-year-old man's father, man. What the fuck? So that's
Jesus.
Crazy
wow.
stuff.
Oh, hey, Texas. Texas said, Autumn, whatever, said, I literally just left North Carolina today. How funny. You didn't let us know? What the
fuck? We could have hung out. Come on.
Yeah.
What were you doing in North Carolina?
What is there to do in North Carolina? No, there's decent.
We just named 5 fun things to do in North Carolina. It was really 6.
Let's see. So, what's the scariest encounter that you've had with another person? We've already talked about that, haven't we? Or
yeah, I skipped that ahead. I'm good to go back to this one I skipped. So when you started deciding to film stuff for YouTube, was this your first channel or did you have a channel before?
I used to do a channel with my friend back in 2011, and it was more of like a comedy channel. and we just did skits and stuff, but I'm not linking anyone to that. So
I know that feel. Very similar situation. Yeah, it's pretty awful. But really, that's still my passion, like just doing stupid shit. I love The Strangest, but I love doing skit videos and stupid crap. But yeah, I think Ethan has like forcefully told people what the link was before, like what the username was, but it's got some pretty embarrassing stuff on it. It's one of those things where if you ever got famous and it popped up, you'd be like, "Ah, that sucks."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But let's see. Oh, I don't know. You do it, Ethan. I don't know what questions to ask. I'm not good at that.
I was gonna say, like, Texas said that, like, she was visiting her little brother. He's in the military. Where is he stationed at? Is it in Fayetteville, or do you know?
What's the, I know the name of the place. What's it called?
Bragg?
Yeah, Fort Bragg, is it?
Yeah.
Because I know my coworker's son went there.
They still have porno theaters there. Technology has not come to Fayetteville.
Did you know that we used to have a porno drive-in?
Yes, I actually knew the guy who owned it. I can't think of his actual name, but I worked at a movie theater, and every week this creepy old man, we would call him the Diet Coke man, would come in and like drinks here are expensive. It's like $11 for a large drink. Even if he wasn't seeing a movie, he'd come in just to get like a movie list of like what was going to play that weekend and buy like an $11 soda and like harass people there. And he would start talking about his movies and like creeping on young girls there. And he's a weird dude. So
yeah,
he was nice to guys though. He'd talk about movies to you, but like to the girls, he'd be like, "Oh, you'd see my movie collection sometime."
Oh God.
Being a girl must suck. I'm sorry.
It can.
It's like we are the problem, but we don't have to deal with the problem. Autumn said Goldsboro. I've been to Goldsboro. Let's see. Air Force. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just knew it was a fort something. But yeah, what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. Too much beer. Sorry, guys.
All right. Do you have anything excited planned for your channel for 2019?
Yes. I plan to go to some asylums. I've been talking to my sister about going to the Waverly Hills Sanatorium, and that's a goal of mine this year. So I'm very excited to go there.
That's been on our list for a while too. So I don't know when we'll end up getting there, but it wouldn't be that long of a drive, really. So we'll have to do that sometime.
There's so many places I want to go, and there's so many videos of footage we actually have that I haven't made. So we need to do it. Just need to start churning them out. There's some like really good stories though of a lot of places. Like I've been working on St. Augustine for a while, and there's some great stories there. And in fact, my cousin's supposed to be getting married in St. Augustine in June, so I'll have a chance to go back and get extra footage when I get comments saying like, "Why didn't you do this?" or "Why didn't you do that?" So it'd be pretty cool.
I think the lighthouse we need more footage of because everyone's like, "You got to go to the lighthouse." Man, the lighthouse. I wish you can go at night, like go inside it at night. That'd be cool. But going up it just for fun, that's a bad time. A lot of stairs. It's one of those places where it has things on the wall like, "Oh, congratulations, you've walked this many steps. You're halfway there.
Achievement unlocked."
Yeah, I'm just sitting there struggling. I hadn't done cardio in a while. I'm struggling to get up there, and like these old people are just jogging up the stairs. They're like, "Oh, this is our third lap." It's like, ha, 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 ha. So yeah, but yeah. St. Augustine was great. I loved it. We actually have a friend in Jacksonville that we need to go visit, Ethan. So we can just make a trip of it.
Yeah, Jacksonville's actually not that far. It's like 8 hours. So compared to like Orlando, so
we could do it.
Yeah, I need to travel more. So we'd actually have a pretty good travel plan. So we'll see if things work out.
Aren't you going to Italy soon?
I know. I wasn't going to start listing off the places that I'm supposed to be going recently. That would be... No. You'll see them in videos in 2 years, guys. So...
God. I'm over here. I haven't been out of the country yet, and Ethan's just been everywhere in the world.
That's what helped inspire the video. So
Yeah. I'm jealous.
yeah. Traveling's fun. We live in a really small town and it's really closed-minded. We're supposed to be getting a casino, maybe, but the city has to vote on it, and that's never going to happen. And yet we're like a textile town that hasn't had anything cool happen to it. Like if you go to Columbia, South Carolina, like where that asylum is, it's had a lot of economic development since their mills closed down, and it's been huge. And our city's gone and studied it like 3 times in the past 15 years, and they still can't figure out what they want to do. So we'll see.
Ethan likes giving small hints to where we live without actually saying where we live.
I do.
If you take all the information in this stream, you just find
And
out
one
where
day
we
you can
live.
stalk this. If you're on Patreon, you can see my house. It's in videos.
I can see your house right now.
I know, it's creepy.
You can see my house right now. But no, I've come to terms with the fact that if people find out where we are, they wouldn't be interested enough to actually come after us yet. Give us a few more 100,000, maybe. But until then, I think we're good.
Yeah, no one really cares. So, besides YouTube, where else can people find you?
On Twitter and Instagram mostly, so that's where I hang out.
What's that Twitter handle? Go ahead and just throw it out there.
It's Joey Adventures, and Instagram it's Joey Adventures. So yeah.
That's good. Ours are like all different because like the strangest was taken, and I was like, all right, well, the strangest _YT. Thanks, but yeah, that's good. Did you have brand? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what I'm talking about. It's been a long day of rain and just driving and garbage. So, but no, that's awesome. Ralph Gomez said, "Strange. What's up, dude? Drunk and Big Joe in the house."
Big Joe. I thought your name was Ralph. No.
But yeah, so do you guys have any other paranormal questions? I feel like we haven't really touched on many personal questions. I've got to show you something. You guys talk. I'll be right back.
Okay. Rebecca just made me open this thing of nail polish for her. That's what I was holding up. But no. All right. So let's see. I don't think I have. Oh no, I'm really bad going off script. Oh my goodness. So I didn't ask you this, I don't think. What's the lamest place you've gone? Like place you actually visited the film and you're really disappointed by when you got there?
I really haven't had any disappointments yet. I've always picked like pretty cool places to go. So whether or not there's a paranormal experience in my video, I always like the scenery of it, or like know that there's like a history behind it. So I haven't had any disappointments yet, but I'm sure it'll come.
Yeah.
What's our biggest disappointment? I know we have one.
We always reference this. You get Seamus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Seamus is our biggest disappointment. That was even before we had the channel. So that's we went in Williamsburg, which will eventually have videos on Williamsburg.
We still haven't done that. I forgot.
I know.
That was one of our first ones.
Yeah, we have William and Mary Dundee, which is in the same area. We had this. We went on a ghost tour in Williamsburg, and they just told us a bunch of like urban legends, like literally like the most generic urban legends you hear on the internet that makes you think like they just Googled some lame stuff and said it happened in Williamsburg. And one of them was like this Scottish like or Irish legend about this Seamus guy. And so now anytime we're on this, and at the end of this, like this tour, they tell us like, oh, these stories are made up, but you should tell these stories to your friends and make up whatever details you can about them and share them. So,
yeah, that really made me mad. It was like the story of Seamus and the devil.
Yeah, meeting the devil. Yeah.
So what I was going to show you is I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and now I have the ability. I always wanted to make like a wheel of strange. And like during our streams, we could just spin it, and it'll probably be alcohol related. Let's be real. but just have something to do or like a dare. Well, my sister for Christmas, she went to Five Below and found me a drinking game that came with a wheel. So I'm just gonna edit it and make it say some weird shit. And I think that'll just have to be a part of our streams from now on. Maybe Rebecca can print out some things on her Cricut.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Rebecca and the Cricket, God, I can't talk.
Rebecca
Ralph
the
said,
critic.
I know. Yeah, she is our chief critic officer. All right. Ralph said that he loves the show and he loves the alien shirt, which Rebecca made. You can check him out on Etsy.com.
He also made this shirt, which I actually wore for once. So I've been slacking.
Before the end. But no, thank you for spending the hour and a half with us. I'm really sorry to take up all your time. We actually got through the outline. It was a pretty long one. Like Blake's like, you didn't put any personal stuff in here. I thought the reading stuff would take a little bit longer. So, but we appreciate you being on here and your channel. It's really cool, the places you go to. And we'd like to do a collaboration in real life. That'd be awesome.
Yes, please. I would love to.
Yeah, now that we know you're not going to kill us, hopefully. You seem chill.
Yeah, I'm pretty chill.
Yeah, that was our only, that was our main thing tonight. I was like, all right, let's make sure she's not going to kill us, and then I guess we'll go do something.
Yes.
But no.
How sane she is. Let's double check this.
It's always the blonde girls that are the ones that are trying to kill us. So
that would really be like a horror movie right there. We could at least put the footage together. Someone could get nice views for it. So,
speaking of horror movies, I feel like we have to mention this before we leave. Did you see Bird Box?
Oh yeah, no one's talked about Bird Box. Yeah, I watched. Me and Rebecca saw it.
What'd you think about it?
I mean, it seemed like a discount quiet place, but I mean, it wasn't bad. I didn't like the story, like the way it jumped around in time. I thought that was kind of dumb. I thought that kind of like jumbled it, but I thought the concept and stuff was interesting. It wasn't bad. It's like a 6 point something on IMDb, and I think that's a fair rating. It's worth your time.
Yeah, it just got such a huge reaction on Facebook. It took me a while to watch it because it's like my mom watched it, and I was like, she doesn't like horror at all, and I was like, she's like, oh, it's real good, you need to watch it, and I'm like, oh, whatever. But then all the memes started coming on Facebook, and I was like, I don't know what these are. I better watch it. And I think the premise was amazing. Like, I really liked the premise. I feel like it wasn't executed that great. Like you said, the timeline thing, if they had kind of stayed in the house, like I enjoyed those parts a lot. Like the whole just surviving. I didn't like the river part, but I don't know. I thought it had a lot going for it. I think I would have watched more of it if they had explored more about the monsters and things like that. But yeah, I felt like we had to mention it because it's been all the rage, and that's kind of our thing is horror. So we'd be in trouble if we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't ask. What's your opinion? Yeah.
I definitely liked it because it was different from the norm. So yeah, I don't have any complaints because there's not a whole lot of movies like that. So I liked it.
Yeah, I definitely would have paid to see it and would not be disappointed. So, and the fact that it was on Netflix is even better. So. Yeah,
and it had the guy from Get Out.
Yeah.
So, and he's gonna. I mean, not him, but they're. What's his name? Is it Peel or is it Key? Anyway, he's making another horror movie. Us.
Oh, Us, yeah.
That's probably gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Machine Gun Kelly was in the movie until
Rebecca picked it. No, Rebecca picked it out right away, instantly. She's like, "Is that Machine Gun Kelly?" I'm like, "I think so. Let me Google this."
It's like, oh, so that's what he's doing after Eminem. It's like, all right, well, rap's not going to work. Let's go be in some horror movies.
I mean, that could be a spin-off movie right there. Like, what the fuck happened to him? He just dipped out.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. It's like, that'd be a good way to do it, to actually expand the universe. So maybe. I think with all the critical acclaim it's gotten, they would want to do a sequel. But as far as Sandra Bullock's timeline, I feel like it's kind of over.
Yeah, and just show what happened to him, and they could put some other random celebrities in there. It'd be a good movie.
Definitely. Ralph said, I love both you guys' shirts. I'll check her channel out. Definitely do it. Yeah, everyone go check the channel out. Her channel, not ours. Don't check us out.
Yeah, check it out. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the bell button. Like her videos because you don't want to miss it out. Follow her on all her social media so you know when a video comes out because YouTube is really lame about pushing content. So.
Yeah, follow her Twitter, her Instagram, follow her in person. She's into that. You like gas stations? She likes gas stations.
I am there all
Wave
the
to her from a
time.
distance.
Oh god, it's like I was gonna make a bad joke. It's like she's a freak at the sheets.
Yeah, don't. All right, Slumber said howdy, but next Friday we're gonna be back here at 8 p.m. Next Friday it's just gonna be me and Blake. I was going to say Rebecca. It's gonna be me and Blake hanging out.
Thanks, Ethan. I'll just go on
Yeah.
vacation.
No, we'll be hanging out. So if you have any ideas for guests or topics, we have a couple of people that are still trying to line up for schedules. We're trying to do it each month where we do 2 weeks of guests and then 1 week of us and then 2 weeks of guests to help like fill out the schedule. So if you have any ideas for people or anything you want to see, let us know. We're trying to work on a video for a Monday. It'd be something different than our usual videos, and then maybe something on Wednesday along with our regular stream next week. So next week might be exciting, maybe, probably not, but look out just in case.
Maybe we'll have the Wheel of Strange going on. Maybe that'll be a
there we
thing.
go. Yeah. So we're trying to work on stuff, trying hard.
Yeah.
So.
But again, check her out in the description below. We should have everything. And thanks for spending your Friday with us, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, you guys.
Oh, definitely. It was a good time. But yeah, everyone have a good night, day, morning, whatever. And until next time, stay strange.